So here's a historical / biblical question that I've been being asked. So I thought I'd share it with you guys here. Is Saturday the only correct day to keep the Sabbath? This is causing great consternation for another family member, a sincere, good-hearted, lapsed Catholic who is afraid that going to church on Sundays all those years was somehow wrong, somehow offensive to God, that she might be consigned to hell. I'm not a fan of the Catholic Church or fundamentalism. I believe following Jesus' greatest commandment to love one another is all that matters. I would welcome your thoughts on this subject. I have lots of thoughts on this subject, as you could probably guess. The Sabbath is a Jewish tradition. And talk about keeping the Sabbath. One of the most famous Sabbath stories in the Bible came when Joshua met the Samaritan woman at the well. And he walked up to this well. And first of all, he was a Jewish man speaking to a Samaritan. That was not something that was well thought of in those days. They were not friendly to each other. He was also a man speaking to a woman, not really a good thing to do in those days. And it wasn't very accepted for an unknown man to walk up and talk to an unknown woman. And women were secondary citizens in that time period. Thirdly, it was the Sabbath. It was the Sabbath. And fourthly, he told her everything she ever did. He basically did spiritual teaching to her. Now, his job was to be a teacher, a prophet, was what the people thought of him. But he was just someone sharing knowledge. He was a teacher. So he was teaching on the Sabbath to a woman he should never have spoken to, from someone from a different region, which he shouldn't have been involved in. Joshua didn't believe in any of that stuff. Joshua believed in love above all and love as one. And the Sabbath is nothing. The Sabbath is Old Testament fodder, per se. But Joshua didn't follow it. And right in the Bible it says, on the Sabbath day, he spoke to the Samaritan woman in the well and told her everything she ever did. And she ran around town telling me, come see the man who told me everything I ever did. The Sabbath, there's nothing to keep. It's just old Jewish tradition that does not translate into the teachings of Joshua. And I find the other thing that I find in this is she feels she might be consigned to hell. Check out my video on hell. Hell was a trash dump. It wasn't actually a place. It didn't become the place that everyone in Christianity uses as hell until the 1300s when Dante wrote his Inferno. Her belief that going to church on Sundays all those years was somehow wrong. Well, the only reason she went to church on all those Sundays is because the church told her to go to church every Sunday, or it was a sin against God, right? So they told her flat out. So if what this whole story talks about is the inconsistencies in church teachings. Keep the Sabbath, but you better go to church on Sunday. It makes no sense. The Bible, and I just said this to someone else this morning in the comments. The Bible is a mishmash of Jewish tradition, early Christian tradition, later Christian tradition when Rome took over, interpretations by multiple languages, interpretations and edits by various people throughout time. King James did not leave that book alone either. The original text said, whatever you ask in God's name is granted. And James changed it to, whatever you ask in my name is granted, deifying Joshua. So the church, the Bible itself is a flawed document that's had the telephone game played with it for centuries. And there's kernels of truth in it, the ones that are loving. The parts that aren't loving, they're not of the teachings of Joshua in any way, shape, or form. And so if you're a Christian Realize Jeshua wasn't. Christianity, as we know it today, especially in the Roman Catholic Church, is based upon Roman Catholics, and they're based upon Constantine, who was based around the pagan religion. When he went to the Nicene Council, he was dressed as the pagan sun god, and he remained a pagan until his deathbed when he was baptized. And virgin births were not in Christianity before Rome took over. Because in the pagan religion that Rome was going through, all of those virgin births, there's tons of virgin births over there, it was added to Catholicism. Catholicism and the Bible itself and the teachings in the Bible are very flawed. But if God is love, you only should listen to or read or live into the parts that are loving, the parts that are caring. And then you're getting close to what Jeshua taught in the days. So I don't keep the Sabbath. No one should. No one's telling you should, except for the churches who want you to put some money in the basket as it goes by. So think about that when you're thinking about the Sabbath. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.